record to this computer. Recording in progress, and here we go. Episode 2 of Stadia's Party Chat podcast. Viewers, if you tuned in on the first episode, we had to make a slight pivot. Founders Corner seems to be a very popular name. Even though we're both founders, we've moved to Stadia Party Chat podcast. That way, more people will be able to find us and listen and hear what we have to say about Stadia news, Stadia topics, and the rumors and what we're playing. Also, we like to touch on Destiny, ESO, and other big name titles. All right, I'm here, Ricardo. I have my co-host Sebastian with me. Hello,
How's it
Sebastian.
going? Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good.
Sebastian, what have you been playing this week in Stadia?
So I didn't play much other than Destiny 2. I play a little bit of ESO, just doing my what do you call that? Just like my trade basically. And I tried Blue Fire yesterday, so we'll talk about that.
Okay, wicked. I myself jumped into a lot of Destiny as that game asks for a lot of your time when you're trying to stay on top. And then I jumped into each of the June Pro games, so I'll be able to give you a little bit of a synopsis on each one of those guys. So this week, I think I want to touch on how we got that triumph, the relay with the Praetorians. This is the gatekeeper encounter. We're Destiny 2 in Vault of Glass. And this is essentially a static triumph that our clan had a little bit of trouble with, but we were able to complete it using a couple things that we discovered. So we thought we would just share it with you guys. If you guys want to use this strategy, go for it. I hope it helps on your mission towards the seal. So the challenge we were doing was the Praetorians, and you had to kill them with super kills using that shield-like relic. So our trick was we had hunters operating the bottom tree void, and they were using the Orpheus rig. So this helped them make a lot of orbs. When you're rallying the other four people, when they're leaving the portal, transitioning, running to the other side, dropping the shield, going in to help, it's important that they have the orbs to be able to get their super as fast as possible. That didn't seem to be much of an issue. Where we did tackle a bit of a hurdle was when the conflux moved back into the encounter stage. It moved into the center, and we were now dealing with 3 Praetorians, and we needed 3 supers as fast as possible. So at that point, when we were making orbs with the extra shots, it really helped our clan get those supers on time and really take the Praetorians out with the super and get us the triumph. So right now, our clan is working towards flawless. We do have a run later on today, so we'll see how that goes and keep you updated. But I hope that little tip helps you guys if you're looking for some strategies on how to tackle this.
Hey,
Nads, do you want
yeah.
to say anything on that or how Destiny was for you this week?
Yeah, so just to pitch in into that triumph, one other thing I will suggest, what we did is like make sure all your weapon and master work, so there's a higher chance to create orb of light. And we also try banner shield, like middle tree void for Titan. And the issue we found is that didn't create enough orb because there was no enough enemy aggroing onto the banner shield. So that was not the best option. That's why we went with the first rig, bottom tree, void for the hunter. Also the warlock, we had some of the warlock using stasis, so they can throw the grenade to freeze the ads, and that will like give like a bit more time for the person with the relic to get their super. So couple things like that, right? But yeah, like I think we got pretty lucky. Second try, I think we got it on that day, so that was good. Moving on with Destiny 2, some of the other activity. I've been doing the quest line, the storyline. That was good. They had a nice little video this week about the story of the monster, the saint, when he was invading the Fallen. That was great to see. It put a little bit of the context that like the Fallen and the human are like similar. I'm hoping to see like with the progression is that there's like a connection with the Elixni or the Fallen, that the House of Light within the tower. And who knows, like, it's Bungie that created Destiny. They also created Halo. Remember, I think in Halo 3, you could play more than just I was about to say the Titan, but Master Chief, you could play their enemy basically at some point. So maybe like eventually the Elixni will regain the light and get a ghost. Who know? That could be like an idea in the future. And then we seem to gain like more allies. So like with Cabal, they like with what's her name, Kato. I'm not saying it right, but like if like we becoming allies with them and allies with Elixni, so like it's gonna help like to move towards it and fight the darkness. So I think the story is building to be like very good, and there's like some spoiler for what's coming up. If you have a chance to look it up, go ahead. I'm not gonna mention anything about it, but it's quite interesting what's coming up. So I can't wait to see that.
Oh wow, I haven't seen or heard of this spoiler you're talking about. Is there just a generic thing you're supposed to look up, Destiny 2 new season spoiler, or how
Um,
would I find this without leading on to the spoiler?
So Destiny Tracker released something on Twitter with some spoiler. They remove it afterwards, saying they're sorry. They shouldn't put any spoiler on Twitter. But like Lucky on YouTube, like went over it and he mentioned so many times spoiler. If you don't want to get any spoiler, stop right there. But like that was interesting. They just basically Destiny Tracker data mine like all the update, what's coming up, and they found the step-by-step next quest and what's happening. So it's quite interesting. Yeah. Look it up. I'm pretty sure you can still find detail about it online, but I'm not gonna mention anything here. I don't want to spoil anyone.
All right, well, it sounds very interesting.
Mhm.
I look forward to possibly spoiling it. I'll see how I feel later today. Um, Moving on, we have some June games. There were 4 games that came out for June, and I'm here to talk about them. So, jumping into the MotoGP was the first game that I wanted to give a run for. I remembered this on my mobile, and now it's this ultra realistic simulation racer. This is very similar to what you would see on Grid. Uh, Almost felt like I was playing the same game except on motorcycles. Uh, that being said, I did only go into the time trial and give it about like half an hour of my time to sort of get a feel for it. Um, I miss the days for those speed racers, kart racers. I know that there's Crew 2 out on Stadia. I'm not sure that it's quite the same, but I think I was just hungry for more of a Need for Speed street racer, upgrade your bike. But all in all, like the game looks beautiful. If you love simulation motorcycle, I mean, this is the game. I got to customize my character, make him look exactly like me, give him my name, choose favorite colors, and then take him out on the track. The only cringing part was every time I hit grass or dirt, my wheel would go out, and there would be me tumbling in slow motion camera off of my motorcycle. So that was pretty cool to see as well that they have that feature. I guess they expect people to fall off their motorcycle a lot. Um, but next, I want to jump into the game that both Sebastian and I got a chance to play, and that is Blue Fire. How did you feel playing through Blue Fire?
It was nice. Like I was expecting it's like a little bit of Legend of Zelda genre, but like a 3D could jump. So that's a big thing. Legend of Zelda usually can't jump. So there's more like jumping puzzle in place, and that was quite interesting. I died so many times too. Not used to the jumping around and landing properly. There's like it seems to be like a lot of movement you can do while in the mid-air, if that makes sense. So yeah, so it's quite interesting. I made it until the save point and I kept going and I died and it send you back to the last save point. So like you lose a lot like when you die, but when you go find your buddy, you get like all you're collecting some of orb of light or something like that. So yeah, that was pretty good. I really like it. I think I'm gonna play more in the future. And I streamed like an hour of it. And if you want to see how it's looked like, it was like actually fun to play. That would be definitely something I will go back into.
Yeah, it was definitely something I had mentally cataloged for some Destiny downtime. A nice little single player experience. And I kind of wanted to find out more. I mean, you wake up in some sort of black crystal that you have to break out of. And then all beside you are these notes saying that you're some sort of experiment that's went wrong. So what's going on there? And then you're just trying to figure out, who you are, what's going on. But again, awesome combat, a new sort of element to fighting when you're dashing in the air and you got to block and parry and your shield is like a bubble. So interesting gameplay, and it's a new title this year. So I'm glad it came to Stadia.
Yeah, definitely.
And next, I want to talk a little on the game I jumped into, which was Chronos. Now, Chronos was taken from VR and it was brought into the console or console arena. The game needs a little bit of an update. I found when I interacted with enemies and ads that were shooting their guns, you would not see the shooting animation. You would just sort of hear something and then an explosion would happen on my body. So there was a little bit of bugginess coming out of the gate. The single player movement, I could see how it was for VR, and I can see the awkwardness in translating to console because in VR, you don't want to move too quickly. And that translates to a bulky character when you're supposed to be this like smooth, agile kid with a sword and shield. Um, there was some things that made me not want to come back to Chronos. I think that you needed to make the character move faster. I needed to be able to dodge better. The ads are like these little gremlins and the animations are off. The collectibles are like these giant written boards, which are exactly what you need for VR because you're just kind of looking at it. I just feel like they should have done more in the transition from VR to console. Another game that made me want to check out after playing it was Republic, because I'm not sure how well of a job they did on that translation from VR to console, but I'd be curious to see. Maybe it's just something that I need to get used to. Maybe I just like a more fast action gameplay. Maybe I was just getting impatient with the slow moving character and slow gameplay that Chronos kind of had. I mean, if you want to take each enemy one by one, very slowly moving, I guess I would almost wish it was a turn-based game. But we'll see. Did you have any thoughts on Chronos when you saw it? I mean, the picture art look really cool.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say the picture art is like amazing. I didn't know there was like some issue like this, like little bug. Yeah, and you will see definitely that like from a VR to like a console or like PC. So there's like a big change there because like you come from uh, a like a on your face visual to like having a third person character or something like that. So it's definitely gonna need like more work, like you said, if like there's still like a little bit of bugs, but it's definitely a two different game they kind of impose, right? So interesting enough. I'm probably gonna try it like in the near future when I have an hour. I'll try it out and then see how the game is. Yeah, I'm kind of very interested into it.
Yeah, you should give it a stream. Once we have our channel open, perhaps we could stream right to there.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
Stadia's Party Chat podcast channel, and you can let people know your thoughts as they happen. I can be a little bit grumpy when I interact with games sometimes, so
Same here. Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. And then we have the JRPG title that dropped in June. Now, JRPGs turn-based, that kind of keeps me away. Probably why I didn't jump into that title this week. I do want to move and give the title a fair share. Hopefully, I can get it up on a stream and show you my thoughts. But as for now, I'm a blank slate. I haven't played the series Cold Trial. But I look forward to at least jumping in and seeing how it feels, because some of those games surprised me and I get sucked in.
Yeah, same here. Like I haven't had a chance to give it a try, but definitely gonna look into it too. I like old style RGRPG turn-based. I don't know for some reason. Uh, like I'm definitely gonna try it. I'm gonna get hooked into it. The best one I played like when I was a kid was Chrono Trigger. If you want like an old style JRPG, that's the best one, but that's a 3D one, so that should be interesting.
Wicked. Moving to the next story, I wanted to touch on sort of a segment here that I'm calling Inside the Indies. And this week, I wanted to touch a little bit on Floor Kids. Floor Kids is a game that came to Stadia Pro a month or two ago. This is a little indie title, and it came out actually in December of 2017. So I'm surprised that Stadia got it so much later on. But we have developer MERJ Media. So that's Merge Media. And these guys created a pretty fun game with easy entry. Anybody can jump into it. And it does something that games, I would say, I'm not typically looking for, but I definitely got sucked into. This Floor Kids game had me bobbing my head every time I'm playing it, trying to keep the beat, trying to have make all these dance moves when they come out, but it's button mashing with a beat. So it's just super interesting in the way that they made it work. You're getting high scores. I mean, I never thought I'd be big into rhythm games, but it's not your typical rhythm game. You're just having a lot of fun. The soundtracks are really good. Definitely worth jumping into if you haven't seen it already. This game has won multiple awards, and it's worth a try. I personally enjoyed it. It was fun, and I was smiling while I was playing it. So nothing bad I can say really about Four Kids. I'm on World 7, I believe, so I hope to get through it slowly. And yeah, that was my Inside the Indies look at Floor Kids from Merge Studios. So moving on to the next segment of our show, we have what we want to talk about here is Destiny 2. We are big Destiny 2 fans, and we would like to just go over what we see this week coming out of the TWAB. What is the TWAB? The TWAB is This Week at Bungie, which essentially goes over what you can expect coming out of Destiny 2, some spoilers, or not spoilers, but I guess sneak peeks, as they call it. I guess they release it strategically. But a lot of great content and really keeps you in the know. So, Nads, did you want to sort of spearhead the TWAB talk here?
Yeah, so on the TWAB, what they announce, that's usually coming out on Thursday. So they talk about the little video that we mentioned at the beginning there about the story, the legend of the saint, that Mithrax still like he's like a monster, and now they have to live with him. Very interesting story. The next thing they mention is Iron Banner is back. It's gonna come back on Tuesday this week. They fixed the issue with the shotgun risk walker. I think I say it right. And the Anchor Thunder machine gun. So you should be able to get them like while you return your coin for Iron Banner. So that should be good. A new thing that's happening starting tomorrow, there's like a fashion show. So basically, starting 7 June until the 12th of June, if you Twitter or Instagram at Destiny the game with a picture of your fashion using like the new I try to remember like what's the name of it. Uh, it's just a new customization for your appearance, and
The
then
the transmog
yeah, with the
system.
Transmog system, if you use that and create your style and stuff like that, post that on Instagram, post that on Twitter, yeah, on Twitter, and then like I just put at Destiny the game, then you can enter the contest. The winner will get like that nice emblem. It's like I'm colorblind, but for me it looks like a pink red with like some orange. Looks pretty cool. I think every year they do some sort of like fashion contest like this, so worth giving a try. Never know. The next thing they're talking about was like some of the update they did. So they fixed some of the issue, like on top of like fixing, like changing stasis this week. What they're gonna fix coming up, I think they're not totally done with stasis from the look of it. There was like another podcast they did a chat with some of the Destiny developer, and they think it's gonna be a slow in progress. I've seen some people like complaining because on PVE it affected very big. If you look at the Behemoth or the Titan stasis, in the past you could throw a grenade, a stasis grenade, and it will like create the crystal, and then you slide automatically to shatter them. Well, now the slide you have to sprint for an amount of time before you can initial the slide. So it creates some issue within the PVE portion. So I don't know if they're gonna change that or they're gonna buff it a little bit more to make it better, but that's something probably to come up. What's so the fix day coming up though on this Tuesday? It's like more of the teleporting enemy update. I don't know if you noticed, but I think I sent you a video of me doing presage, and then the bus just teleported beside me, stomped me, and I died. I was like, wow, okay, that was quick. So they still try to fix that issue. And there's also a PC performance update. So apparently on PC, a lot of people had some issues, so they're fixing that. Has to do with the different graphic card, from my understanding. And expunge reward. So there's like I guess some issue with that. It's won't This activity won't grant pinnacle reward until the weekly challenge is added. So we'll see what happened out of that. And some more odd fix. So, and like they mentioned some of the weekly known issue. Also, every like TWAB, they add this portion where you can see video from the community from Destiny. One of them is pretty funny. It's a roller coaster the person did for Prophecy. So it's basically the old Prophecy. You just remade it like using an engine like Unity or Unreal Engine, and it's just doing the whole activity. It's pretty funny to watch. A very long video. And the other one was about someone calculating the force of the stump for Atheon. So interesting. And there's also some like artistic graphic, which is good. Um, the big thing they put at the end also, it's like a sneak peek to the next update, the next DLC coming up this fall. I don't know if you've seen online, but like there's already like picture of the next armor set that's gonna come out, and now they're showing like a quick picture of a hunter with this armor set with the background being greenish and stuff like that. I know there's been talk about going to Los Angeles or something like that. That could be it, or it could be like Venus, because like it's kind of greenish, like it looks like it's could be Venus as per like Vault of Glass, if that makes sense. So there's I think a lot of theory based on that, but yeah, should get more detailed by the end of the summer, and that's pretty much it for the TWAB.
So how did you know that that's a hunter?
Just from previous was it data mining they did when they or I think even Bungie released some of the picture of the new armor set, and it showed the Hunter, Titan, and Warlock and how they look
Okay.
like. And within that picture, you see it's the Hunter armor because he's wearing the clock too, like the hood piece of the the class item basically. So yeah, should be interesting. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
Cool. The Witch Queen. And the Witch Queen, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not next season because next season is the summer season, but it's the fall season after that.
It's the DLC basically. So, like they did with Beyond Light, they're gonna come out with the DLC, and that's gonna be a start of a new season too, right?
Or is it going to come out this year? Hopefully.
Yeah,
Have they announced that? Or are we
at
going to
the end
get
of
a
the
Beyond
year.
Light push? Okay, at the end of the year.
Yeah, unless they change the date again, like because of the with all the situation happening, similar to Beyond Light, they pushed it to when did Beyond Light came out? Is it September? Um,
I
so
think it got
probably around
pushed to
this
November.
November, sorry. Yeah, so it's probably gonna be the same thing similar before Christmas. They're gonna release a new DLC. Who know? Or it could be beginning of January. So we'll see. We'll get more update in the future.
Oh, cool. I mean, just hopefully we don't have any seasons where we're over level 400 again.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully that's not gonna happen. I think now they kind of restructure after this, and they releasing a season every so often. I think we have 80 days left for the next season. For this season, sorry. So I think they have it gauged properly now. I think that was a one-time thing that happens during COVID. So
Cool. Well, I look forward to it. Now we have the news segment of Stadia podcast. Um, Here we have our story number one, and Stadia is telling us from their community blog that the games are here for June. You have instant access to Blue Fire, Chronos, MotoGP, and The Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Style 3. So jump in, grab those if you're a pro member, instant access. We have a Elder Scroll Online Blackwood. So Nads, you know much more about ESO as I'm only, I believe, a level 12 or 14 evil looking elf dude.
yeah, so Elder Scrolls, just a little bit of background on me. I've played since it was a beta on PC, and then eventually I stopped playing. I got back into it recently. Just in between Destiny season, and I was like, I reopened it. I was like, oh my god, yeah, there's so much to do. If you're like a big fan of the Elder Scrolls story or lore, the online version has like everything. Like it's pretty amazing. You gotta think that it's a MMORPG though, but like the gameplay is flawless, is very good. So Blackwood coming out, so that's going to be another expansion. They're going to expand into the Oblivion story. So if you play Elder Scrolls, was it 3? So Oblivion, it's going to be related a little bit to that. So I think it's because Elder Scrolls Online happened before all those action, so there may be some relation to this. So the big thing I'm excited about is that you can have a companion this time in Blackwood. So as part of the expansion. So I don't know how it's gonna work out, but you're gonna be carrying another character with you, following you behind, a little bit like all the other Elder Scrolls. Like you had a companion following you around, helping you, killing ads and stuff like that. So that should be interesting. I don't know if you're gonna be able to customize them the same way as you do for yourself, like adding armor, like weapon, and so on and so forth, abilities. So that's going to be an interesting addition to Elder Scrolls Online, so or ESO. But yeah, quite exciting. I'll definitely have a look at that. So.
Again, that game must be massive if you have it installed to your PC. How many, do you know how many gigabytes that is?
Uh, I try to remember. I think I was at 150 gigabyte, and I'm still like missing some of the DLC and stuff like that.
Wow.
Uh, the game is, yeah, definitely getting big. If you look at the world map, it's covering most of Tamriel now, the old planet, and then there's other area you can access through that's outside the map. So yes, this game is massive, and like with HDLC like that, they're reopening a new area and moving on forward. So yeah, if you want a lot of gameplay, like that one is full.
Again, it just makes so much sense to play a game like this, a massive, huge game on Stadia. Because why would you store all that information on your computer when you can just play in the cloud? I mean, for me, on games of that scale, that's where Stadia makes the most amount of sense.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I noticed the difference is from the computer to Stadia, the loading time in between world, like when you teleporting or even loading the game, it was just so instant with Stadia. While with on PC, it maybe has to do with like my PC being like getting old now, but like it took a while to load. The only thing you don't get from Stadia is all the add-on that you can have on PC, and that's like a major complaint I think most people have. But I've been playing without the add-on, and it's still like playable. Like I think the add-on is supposed to add you like a little bit more information on the display and modify how you want to see your UI. But overall, like I was still able to play and it was still playable, enjoyable. So yeah, I definitely miss the add-on. I wish that you could do that on Stadia, but I think because like I've needed to access some of the INI file within the game, you cannot do that through Stadia, right? So.
Really drives home that Stadia seems to be a console in the cloud and not a PC in the cloud. Because a PC, you seem to have so many more modification options, even when it comes to Cyberpunk or different games like this. You see people bringing in, even Terraria, they bring in modifications and add ons, but you don't see that on Stadia. And I feel like that may be what makes it a cloud console instead of a cloud PC.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting way because technically it's using PC part, it's using AMD graphic cards, but it's an Android-based software, so that's why they may be pushing it towards more a console. It's not using the Windows base like we call it the OS. It's using Android OS, so like that's maybe why they push it towards a console. It's slightly different. The port is like they need to go through the process. Is not as simple as like taking it from PC to move it to directly to Stadia, right? So.
Yeah, wicked. Now we have the next story coming in from the community blog. YS4, I assume. Monstrum Nox is coming to Stadia. I believe this is another JRPG. Stadia seems to be filling out their library. They must have a low JRPG count, so it's good to see them sort of add these titles. But yeah, people can look forward to this title on July 6th, as they announced on the blog. So that's exciting to see for JRPG fans. Am I right in saying that that game's a JRPG?
Yeah, it's more an action RPG, I think, because we already have that YS8 Lacrimosa of Dana. I've tried this one. It's more an action RPG. So you roam around, you get into a combat, and you can switch between the two character. So that's the one I noticed where. So the new one coming out, it might be in the next one. sorry, I see 7, I think it's 8, YS8, it's out, now we're gonna get 9. So it might be a continuity, and it's just more an action RPG, yeah. But like, definitely worth a try. The graphic are like kind of cartoonish, and it's very nice. The customization of the character, like it just goes with like every time you move forward in the story, you get like new gear, you get better, new skill, and you get new character, and then move on like this. So very interesting.
Cool. Cool. And now we have the referral program. Stadia is giving emblems, avatars, and 50% off of a Stadia controller. This promotion is until August 31st. It's for the people of Canada and the US. So I'm happy to see that Canada is included in this promotion because us as Canadians, we know that we're not included in every one of Stadia's promotions. And I feel we should be.
Definitely, yeah.
So refer one friend, you get a month of Stadia Pro, which is awesome. Refer 2 friends, and you get an exclusive Stadia avatar. And this one item, I think, sparked a lot of the community saying we haven't had a new avatar system in 2 years. Avatars look exactly the same from day one. Come on, Stadia, you need to spice up the avatar scene.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Nads, but I think you've been that one soldier guy with the sheet, like the arm,
Yeah, I
the
think it
Titan.
made me think a lot of Destiny, so I think I went with that one. Yeah, no, definitely. I think I look from time to time. Do they have like a new avatar? No, they don't. So they should definitely give like more avatar, like maybe based on the different game that's available on there.
That would be wicked, yeah.
Yeah, or like you could probably upload your own avatar if you want to create like a design or something and add that to it. Like you should be able to do all this.
Yeah, it's Google. Come on. You'll receive the rewards shortly after your friends sign up. So I guess it's not instantly, but that's just to know. Check out their referral promotion for more terms and conditions, and you can find that on the Stadia blog if you're interested in reading more about that. Your favorite independent games are now on sale. So Stadia, I mean, the list is very large. If you're a pro member, even if you're not, there is a lot of deals on here. I mean, do they have any games at full price at this point when all I see is, I don't know, 20 some odd games for sale?
That's just it. It's like every week they have like just sales upon sales. So like really like all the games are like so cheap. Every time there's a new game coming out, like I always wait to come on sale before I decide to purchase it because there's just like so many options and like it's always on sale, right?
You're much better at that than I am.
Yeah.
I always act way too fast. I mean, some ones that I'm interested when I jump out at me. Cake Bash. I mean, that's on sale. That seems like a fun party game. K's and the Wild Mask. That's on sale. That seems to be a fun platformer. Serious Sam is on sale. Um, Reigns is less than $2 for a game, which is essentially just flipping back and forth. It is awesome. I
That's
mean,
crazy.
I had so much fun playing Reigns. It's a good one to pick up if you're not a Stadia Pro and you're just looking for something to play mobile. Have you ever played Killer Black Queen or Killer Queen Black?
No, I don't know that one.
Yeah, that game is very big in a lot of circles. Large base. I think it may be even cross-platform on Stadia. I may be wrong, but I think it may be.
Hmm.
Very
I'll
big
have a
title.
look. Well, that's good. A lot of new title and a lot of sales, so that's perfect.
And what is Tohu? I have never some of these games I feel like I need to stay way on top of. I've never heard of Tohu, but it's on sale for 10.49. I got to check out what Tohu is.
Yeah, a lot. I guess a lot of indie game coming to Stadia, and I think Stadia support that a lot. Like they're gonna be able to provide those company, those indie company, like just like the support they need to be on Stadia. So
Exactly. This is actually a very good list for me to do my Inside the Indies on. So I have a list of indies already on Stadia and they're on sale. I mean, Enter the Gungeon, I had a lot of fun playing. It is super hard. It is hard to get past like level 3, at least for me.
yeah, I tried that one too, and it was like definitely a fun game to play, and you can play with your friends and stuff like that. So
So the thing I found, so when you play with your friends, the ads split up their shooting. So they'll shoot at you and they'll shoot at your friend. And sometimes you'll get hit by stuff you're not anticipating. I found I can survive longer when I play alone because I know the ads are just focused on me, if that makes sense.
okay, that makes sense. Yes,
It's just a
interesting.
game where like the entire screen is filled with like bullets and you got to dodge everything.
That's awesome.
Well, story number 2, Ubisoft expands to Canada. You sent me a link on this. I mean, Stadia came out and said, "Listen, we're dropping what was it, 9 games?"
Hmm.
Ubisoft is going to tell us more at EA about Far Cry 6 and Rainbow Six Siege. I'm not sure why there was that sort of nod to Siege coming on June 12th. My only suspicion is that they may introduce, a Stadia feature. Like now you can play Rainbow Six with screen share, see what your friends are doing.
Hmm.
Um, that,
So
yeah, I
it's
look
gonna be
forward to it.
interesting. Yeah, so they should release more information during E3 coming out in June 12, June 12 to June 15, I think. Yes, finally Ubisoft Plus is expanding to Canada. It was on beta. I never understood that, like they were on beta or they're still in beta. I got an account a while back just before Stadia came out, and because they were offering a month free, and that's how I was able to play Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Um, I played for free for a month, and I was like, oh, I like the game, so I kept playing it. Um, and like it's worth it for all the game you're getting. Like if you look at all the Assassin's Creed, like that's available in Stadia, and you want to give it a try. I think it's $20 Canadian for the month, and you can give it a try and see how it's like. For 20 bucks, you can access all the Ubisoft game, and there's more coming out with like Rainbow Six. Being advertised is going to come out soon on Stadia. I think they're working into that to make sure that you get crossplay with this. So amazing. And Far Cry 6 coming out in October, like that's going to be a good game. Yeah,
I've
excited for that.
I've never jumped into the Far Cry series, but when I saw the cover art for Far Cry Blood Dragon, like maybe I should try this out. It looks pretty like retro, cool. Like, is it a first person shooter? I'm not I've never played a Far Cry before.
Yeah, it's a first player shooter, a little bit like I will a bit like a Borderlands 3. So very similar, it's just open world. Any first player shooter, it's like a storyline. All the story of Far Cry kind of like follow each other, but not necessarily. So if you start at Far Cry 6, you don't necessarily need to play Far Cry 5 or 4. They have their own niche story about like arriving in an area and then you decide to be good or bad, basically. So yeah, a quite interesting game. It's more like a first person, like a sorry, single player game. So yeah, worth the try. If you're looking into it, might be worth to get Ubisoft Plus for that.
Did you say that you get to decide whether you're evil or good?
Yeah, so I know in Far Cry
Whoa.
5 you can do that. Yeah. I think
That's what
there's
I like to
different
hear.
action that you're doing throughout the story you can choose. So it's a little bit you get like different ending and so on and so forth. So
Well, pure evil all the way. I look forward to that. One game I was actually excited to see, but is not on this list, is For Honor. I mean, I haven't really, that game caught my attention, but it wasn't on the list. So, I mean, I hope to see it come to Stadia. I thought it was coming to Stadia. It may just not be a part of this first release.
I think I've seen some stuff saying like it was coming to Stadia or like there's hype for it to come to Stadia, but they didn't mention it recently. I think they concentrate on Rainbow Six first to be coming to Stadia, then maybe Foreigner is gonna come afterwards. That's an interesting game to play too, so yeah, it would be good to see.
Cool, cool. Um, Reddit, they had some rumors out there that I picked up on Stadia forum chat there. We have Fast and the Furious Spy Racers coming to Stadia. This looks to be some sort of kart racer. The rumor is that, we'll see it sometime this year, probably in the late end. Check out the trailer. It looks to be simply they're using the Fast and the Furious uh, license and putting a kart racer with like bombs and fun little tracks, similar to what I was talking about before. So I look forward to seeing this for sure. I hope the rumors are true from Reddit. So we'll see.
They're definitely Fast and Furious. It's like I've been a big franchise, and they came out with different game in the past, but definitely this one is gonna be an interesting one. I think they tried to make it look like part of the movie where like they do different action within their cars. So we'll see how it gets.
And the next rumor I see, and you've told me about this before, is that you can live stream from your Chromecast uh, as long as you initiate it from the mobile browser.
Yeah, so if you're on the Chromecast, you want to stream from there, you
Yeah.
log in into your phone, not using the app, but using the Chrome browser, and then you should be able to click the live stream now, and it will come up streaming. So I've done that in the past. If you want to stream on 4K on your 4K TV from the Chromecast, you can do it. It's quite easy. You just do it from your phone, and that's it. And then you stop the live stream from there too. So
Well,
um,
fun little workaround. Use it, have fun with it, and thank you, Reddit.
yeah, there's like some update coming up to also for our Stadia on Android. So if we move on to story number 4, so basically some of the new update coming up to Stadia. So as you may know, 9to5 Google like to extract some of the data mining of the update on their phone on the phone. So they just do an extra of the APK on the app. So there's like a couple thing coming up, like the store filter. I think that's something we Stadia mentioned in the past. They're gonna add that also to the Chrome browser. Voice chat on your phone. So that was something that was mentioned way before, and now like if you play on your phone, you're gonna be able to use voice chat, which is interesting. I like this idea. So like this, you can play from your phone and just do that. So it's gonna be coming up. Um, there's a bridge mode. I'm not exactly sure what's that exactly, but I think it's just to connect your phone to another Wi-Fi, if that makes sense. So or like control like connect your favorite controller to Stadia over Wi-Fi. So it should be interesting to see.
I think what I heard about that feature was that people will be able to use their phone as a Stadia
Oh,
controller.
I see. Yes, yes. I think we mentioned that before too.
Hmm.
So I think the idea is that like if you're having a couch play with a couple of friends at home, and then you only have one Stadia controller to play on the TV, so people's gonna be able to use their phone, I guess, right? So
Yeah, and it's
uh,
great for games like Monopoly or Uno, where it's not button intense and you just kind of need to press a couple things. To have that on your phone and available to other people in the household is fantastic.
that's good. No, definitely they're moving forward with something here. So it's gonna make the Stadia controller not needed for playing games because if you look at it, you could use your phone, plug in another controller to your phone to play on Stadia. A little bit similar to what you do with the controller, Stadia controller right now, is that you can use your Stadia controller and plug another controller if you rather play on the Xbox controller, PlayStation controller, right? So. Other thing was coming up is Google TV prep. So I think that's something everybody's been waiting on, is to be able to use the new instead of Chromecast Ultra, the Google TV itself to play Stadia. So I think it's coming out soon. I don't know when. I think we've been seeing a lot of update on the APK on that. They're just getting ready for it. So hopefully it's gonna come up this summer, so that will be very interested, and I think it's gonna be something you'll be happy about, right?
Stadia has been eating their words ever since they said early 2021 Google Chromecast support. It is June, the 6th month of the year. That is no longer early 2021. Where is it? Give it to us. I see that you're working on it, but work faster. I want to play on the Google Chromecast.
Yeah.
And where is Mafia? You guys announced Mafia like last year or the year before. It's just disappeared without a trace. I want to see it on Google Stadia. I'm campaign for bring Mafia to Stadia.
Yeah, there's like a few thing that they announced a while back. I don't know with like with COVID, everything got delayed or so, but hopefully they're gonna maintain their words and then just like come out with them. The last thing they extract from the APK was a audio video adjustment. So some update, I think, just to make the experience for player better. So, and that's pretty much it for that part. So
Now, this is something that I guess you have heard of. I have not heard of a Borderlands movie on Netflix. I mean, the small time I've been in the world, I could see that they have the characters for it. But yeah, let me know what you heard on this.
yeah, so basically, it's from IGN. They mentioned that so Netflix is in the work to create a Borderland movie or series. So I'm not exactly sure. They already identify some of the actor, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. I heard that, but there's not much detail yet about it. Let me see here. I'm typing it. Just see if I can find the article, but no, yeah, it just it would be interesting to see. Netflix has been very good to come out with like the video game genre of like TV show or movie. I know, like, I think there's like some sort of curse since I don't know if you remember Super Mario Brother, like the movie and other movie of the genre, and like every time they came out with it, it just like was terrible. I think Netflix did a good thing with The Witcher 3. And then like they created other one. There was rumor of like Legend of Zelda coming out as a TV series, which was squashed. There's like so many rumors. So that could be just another rumor. But like at the moment, they have a movie full cast photo reveal for Borderlands movie. So it's quite interesting. They already have like name actor for it. So I'm just looking through here. So uh, my bad. I'm just looking through the article, but we can look more into that the next time. I know that Jack Black is one of the big known actor that's going to be acting as the Claptrap
Oh,
for the
wow.
voice. Yeah, and Kevin Hart, Roland. So yeah, a couple actor there. So it's quite interesting. Yeah, can't wait to see more detail about that and see what's gonna come out.
Well, wicked. Yeah, let's see what Netflix does. Look forward to it. Now we have our final story of the day. A new article that you shared with me, and this talked about EA and the future of games, future of consoles. and sort of what he thought about the multiplayer experience, what he thought of the experience altogether on Stadia. So yeah, I'll let you talk a little bit about that right now.
Yeah, so 9 to 5 Google again. So they had a conversation with EA CEO Andrew Wilson, and they talk about Stadia. So for sure, with the closure of SGNE, like a lot of people thought like, oh, Stadia is done and stuff like that. I think that was a good thing because like this, they don't concentrate only on their own game, but now they can expand to all the other company and offer like the support, having like all the expert for Stadia, like working with like company like EA to say like, we want this game on Stadia. Let me send you someone that can do the port for you, or like, you know, work with you to make it like work on the cloud gaming. The CEO of EA, like one thing he mentioned is that he see like the cloud gaming being the future thing, and I totally see that, like we all seeing it. But at the moment, it's not there yet because it doesn't have the multiplayer like base amount of people. And we see it in our Stadia community. It's like a very small community. We see it on Destiny, where like if you want to do PvP, you want to play Mayhem, sometimes you don't find everybody to play Mayhem or something like that. But like it's coming up. Like you look at Destiny next season is gonna come out crossplay, so like that's gonna solve some of the issue. And that's where like Stadia fall. Like if you look at Xbox when they came out, PlayStation, looking back at Sega, their console like Dreamcast or like Saturn, Nintendo, they all came out in a time where like most games were like single player. There's no online gaming. There's no like multiplayer. The only multiplayer we were doing was couch co-op, sitting beside your friend playing a game. You know, playing Golden Eyes on the small TV screen, and you're able to see is moving where it was. Um, that's where they came out. That's where they built their player base. So Stadia came out at a time where like most video game are all multiplayer, they're all online gaming. Because like looking back, the only online game we had like was on PC, EverQuest, World of Warcraft, that kind of game. And then like most console, like I remember PlayStation 2 had the Ethernet port, but I never used the internet like through PlayStation. But yeah, like I think that's where like Google is struggling right now. But with the solution of all this is crossplay. All games are coming to crossplay. There's like some company that don't like it yet. Like looking at Sony, they still like deny wanted to do crossplay with Xbox and other or PC or something like that. But I think that's where like the strength of Google is going to be, is like the crossplay. If like all the games going to come out, they can be crossplay, the issue will be solved there for like player base. So.
Yeah, and it's an interesting article. Good to see the perspective of, you know, the head of EA talk about Stadia. One thing I do want to touch on is just the perspective that the closure of Google's SG&E and their in-house studios was the death of Stadia, as some people call it. To me, that seemed more like a business move. You don't want to compete with other game studios when you're trying to convince them to bring their games to your platform. You go, for instance, if you're creating a campaign to bring Fortnite onto Stadia, and I'm not saying they're doing that, but you wouldn't want Stadia in the meantime creating their own battle royale, because that's just going to dilute the market. They want to bring already the talent that exists out in the world, because the gaming industry has been developing over years, and they're simply recognizing that and bringing it into their studios. That's simply my perspective on how I see them closing down SG&E. And you know, for a company to make a business decision like that, it really shows that either they're not just going to waste money into the gaming industry, they're going to be strategic about it, and they have a long-term plan. I just wish that perhaps they shared more of the long-term plan with us. But I look forward to reading the 9 to 5 Google and seeing Stadia come up weekly. So I have all but high hopes for Google Stadia, and I wish it the best in the future.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, yeah, like the EACO mentioned, is that like it's the future where we're moving forward. I can see console, like I mentioned to you, console being away after 20 years. Like I know like Xbox and PlayStation just came out with their new console, but that's gonna last for another 10 year. Maybe they're gonna create a new console after that. But all those companies are right now moving towards the cloud gaming. You know, you have xCloud, PSN now. So really all you're gonna need is like a smaller platform to be able to access the cloud. Uh, for Stadia, you can access it through PC or Chromecast. So really, they're just ahead of the game. They're putting their foot in the door, similar to what Sony did when they came out with PlayStation or like Xbox. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. And definitely, Google did like a good move to shutting down SG&E because the competition out there is too big. They would lost like way much more money if they kept going with that. Because you got to look at how long does it take for a AAA game to be very popular. You know, they spend like years to build on it and they don't even know if it's gonna sell. Look at the at Cyberpunk, like it was like something people could wait to see, and the release wasn't that great. And they could have made way more money if they would have like waited longer to work more on it and stuff like that. So definitely SGNE shutting down, it's a plus for Stadia because now we got all those AAA game that came out and we got more coming out.
And no conflict of interest because Stadia is not producing their own games. They're simply asking other games to come to them. And I think that is a smart move because as soon as you have conflict of interest, you're running into another legal barrier, another legal hurdle when you're trying to approach these games to come to your platform. So, yeah, I think it's a good move, but I do feel bad for the people who lost their jobs. Absolutely. Um, I mean, you were all excited to be in a new game studio. I just hope Google was there to provide support. So both me and Sebastian are sad about people losing their jobs. Obviously, we're not happy about that, but we think it was a smart move for Stadia to shut there. Well, guys, I thank you for tuning in this week to Stadia's Party Chat podcast. The new branding will be hitting the airwaves or Wi Fi waves shortly. You can find our podcast mostly anywhere you can find podcasts now. Anchor, which was fantastic, allowed us distribution to all of the major outlets. So download us, find us on YouTube, like and subscribe, and tune in next week for our blog, our thoughts, our comments, our rumors. Nads, you have anything to say signing off here?
Yeah, so happy to doing this. Like, and then like next week we got the weekend for E3 coming out. So hopefully we can hear some news for Stadia in there. I know like all the big gaming company will be talking about their future. So stay tuned and we'll talk about that next week.
Wicked. Yeah, we'll have an E3 episode. I really do hope that Stadia gets like just a little more than just that Ubisoft mention.
Yes, definitely. I hope so.
And Stadia, if you don't get a mention, don't worry. Just make your own E3. Tell us what's up.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Tune in next week.
Bye.
Bye. All right. How do I stop? Here's the stop recording.